Let's talk about managing Gen Z. If you've worked with this generation or read about them, you've probably come across some strong opinions. Things like they're too entitled, they don't want to work hard, or they're addicted to their phones. But let's pause for a second. Are these issues actually unique to Gen Z? Or are they just the modern day challenges that every generation has faced in different ways? Welcome to the channel, Leadership with Mike. On this channel, I help you become a more confident leader, and I do this with no nonsense sense, if that makes any sense. Now, back to Gen Z. The reality is, Gen Z does bring a lot to the table. They're resourceful, they're purpose-driven, they are incredibly tech-savvy. Managing them isn't about changing who they are. It's about adjusting our own approach to meet them where they thrive. So today, I want to share 3 simple ways to manage Gen Z employees effectively. And spoiler alert, just like I've shared with many of my students, you're going to understand that these strategies aren't just for Gen Z. They'll work for anyone who values clarity, growth, and flexibility. First up, communication. This generation grew up with instant access to information. Google, social media, you name it. So when they walk into a workplace, they're not going to respond well to vague instructions or outdated communication styles. What does work? Be clear, be direct, and be open. Let's say you're assigning a new project. Don't just tell them what to do, explain why it matters, how it fits into the bigger picture, and very importantly, what success looks like. This isn't hand-holding as some people may want to see it. It's giving people the context they need to perform at their best. And don't stop at just one conversation. Gen Z thrives on real-time feedback. So instead of waiting for the formal reviews, have regular check-ins. These can be quick 10-minute chats just to align on progress or address any concerns. It's not about micromanaging. It's about building trust and keeping the lines of communication open. Next, let's talk about growth. If there's one thing that Gen Z is known for, it is their hunger for learning and development. This generation isn't just working for a paycheck, they're working for a purpose. They want to know that the time that they spend in your organization is helping them grow personally and professionally. So how can you tap into that? Start by offering opportunities for learning. This doesn't have to mean expensive training programs. It could be as simple as assigning stretch projects, connecting them with a mentor, or encouraging them to take on more responsibilities outside of their comfort zone. Another thing to keep in mind, Gen Z, they love feedback. Not just about what they're doing well, but how they can improve. Frame it as a two-way conversation. Ask them what they want to achieve and how you can support their goals. When you show that you're there, you're invested in their development, they'll be more invested in your organization. Now, let's talk flexibility. If you think back to the last few years, it is no surprise that flexibility is a top priority for Gen Z. Many of them entered the workforce during the pandemic, and they've seen firsthand how effective remote work can be. So here's the reality. If your workplace doesn't offer some level of flexibility, whether it's remote options, flexible hours, or a hybrid model, you're probably going to struggle to attract and then retain Gen Z talent. Flexibility doesn't mean the Gen Z employee is lazy or uncommitted. It means they value balance and autonomy. But it's not just about flexibility either. Gen Z also cares deeply about inclusivity. They want to work for companies that value diversity, that create spaces where everyone feels seen and heard. This does not have to be complicated. Celebrate differences. Create policies that reflect your values and make sure that everyone on your team feels respected and feels included. It really is that simple. Managing Gen Z isn't about bending over backwards and catering to unrealistic demands. It's about understanding what motivates them and adapting in ways that makes sense for your business. Communicate openly and clearly. Easy. Give them context they need to succeed. Easy. Invest in their growth, because when they grow, your organization benefits. Easy. Create a workplace that's flexible and inclusive, because it's not just Gen Zs that values this. It's the future of work that will be valuing this. So when you make these small adjustments, you're going to find Gen Z, they're not difficult to manage. And they are a huge asset to have as part of your team. And who wouldn't want employees who are innovative, adaptable, and eager to make a difference? That is the question. And while you work on that answer, check this video to follow up. See you there. Ciao.